and I'm going to just explain about the different uses, lights I've used in this scene. So for now, we're going to change uh, this scene to a light scene. So we go in material mode, got my material, and making shorts from this scene. It's been pretty fun. And so right now we're in render mode. We're in Eevee right now. So currently at the moment, I've turned off the lights I was using. So let me just go through them. Now, right now we have this lit scene right now. And what I like to do is to use the area light to cover the whole scene. It evens out the whole scene. I use it for big scenes. I use it for light scenes. So always have a area light at the top. It helps a lot. Makes the scene more pleasant. And right now I have the light set to area at 10,000. Eevee, you have to increase the lighting in Eevee as well. So just keep that in mind. So obviously with the point light, we have, it's lights are a bit sharper. It's more concentrated, and obviously the sunlight just it just imitates the sun. And one spotlight, it's kind of the same as the point light. It's for more concentrated in one point, but the area light it's all around as long as the square is above everything. And if you scale it, it'll be brighter. So you can play around with that. But I'm happy with how this looks. And next we'll be doing the point light. Well, I don't know. I guess I don't know why it says point light, but it's an area light. So I just basically just copy and pasted, went ahead and just Alt D. Alright, I think I made my own light, sorry. I added my own light, go to add, go to light area, and you can have this right here. Play around, increase the scale. And so I basically just added the length of I just increased the length of it to match the scene of the runway because I want that main part to be the main focal point with the Pokeball falling down into the lane or rolling down into the lane. And take that out, not as visible when you first see it, but once you have that, easy enough. And go ahead and change the lights here, make it blue, yellow, going for like a red and blue. I want to make the red stand out more. Next, what I like to do, once we have the two lights right, we want to use volumetrics. So volumetrics is basically the when you go outside, there's smoke or there could be some mist, some like type of volume that's in the air, and that's why it's called volumetrics. And you throw into the scene. And this is without it, and this is with it. It adds a little bit of realism. It's first, it doesn't look like it's too much, but you can add some crazy clouds. You can make some elemental effects, wind, and you basically use that for volumetrics. And all it did was just add a big square. Went to add, I went to mesh, went to cube, and it would just look like this. And what I did was go into material, go into shader, object, and you want to go into density. Well, when you want to click on, you have material mode, volumetrics, the shift A, type in principal volume, and that's basically what I got here. And you want to connect the volume to volume, and you'll see it'll start when you first get it, it'll be 0.1, and it's all dark and stuff. You just go to the camera viewport, and now it's dark. But what I like to do is to go 0.003. I like to go 0.0065, and so now that we have this, it's a bit more makes it less empty, I would say, and more pleasing to the eye. And I would say that would be it for the lighting. But there's also one more thing I like to do. That's something called HDRI. Let's pull this guy up and we'll go to search, type in environment texture, go color to color. And what I like to do, I like to go to this website right here. And so it's called Polyhaven. And this is where you can get HDRIs. HDRIs are 360 images you can add to your scene. And so they add a type of realistic lighting, and you can find all different types of images, from like hard lighting to soft lighting. And for my scene, I found a hospital scene. So what you can do is you can download them. I would suggest doing 2K just for the size of your scene for your computer to make it lower. You don't need 4K. But you go HDRI, click download, and save into a file. You can go to dry. I found this hospital room I was using, and now it looks a little nicer. And remember, as probably maybe you guys have heard the only times. Type in Node Wrangler. Oh, sorry. You go to Edit, go to Preference, go to Add-ons, Node Wrangler, and it'll appear right here. You just click on the checkpoint, and so what that will do is you click here, hospital room, Control T, and so this will allow you to have more control of the scene. And so you can rotate the scene and play around. I usually keep default, but you can go ahead and play around with it. And once you have that, you can go crazy, add the lighting and everything. But one thing I want to go down to is, remember, always go to color management. These will determine like the colors and the pops and how strong each will be. So you can control the very low contrast, very high contrast, and you have AGX Filmic, and these are just different settings. But just go to Chronos PBR neutral, because if you go to Filmic, the lighting or the colors aren't as strong. Blender has, improved over time, so they're gonna probably have better stuff in the next setting. But for now, it's Chronos PBR neutral, and I always keep very high contrast, maybe high contrast. And right here is the exposure. Well, one thing you can do is go to false color. You can see the blues and the orange, and if it's too high exposure, it'll be red, and you don't want that. So you want to get like a blue orange type, and so you click the go to false color, go to Chronos PBR neutral, and gamma basically just, can't really explain it, but it just makes it brighter or darker. So mess around with that, and think of that, we're good. And so pretty easy to grasp to have two lighting setups, volumetric and the HDRI scene. Let's just click a render, and so I'm like, yeah, that scene looks good. But what you can also do is go to the composite, and this is where you can, after you render a scene, it's kind of like editing in Photoshop. You can change the colors. You can add some glares based on the scene, so you can just add. You can make your scene look more interesting. And so what I like to do is like Shift A, viewer node, this right here, from image to image. And so now you'll have that scene right there. And I most use this node right here, RGB curves, and right here you can change the colors of the scene. So if I want to make it more red, make it more red. I want to make it a bit more blue, and this is a contrast. You can play around with it. I think I'm happy with how this looks. And also I added some lights to this sign, and so we had glare. I made an emission, so I made it brighter. Made it animated, so it's gonna be on and off when it's glowing. And what I like to do is just do the fog glow. You can play around with this. Size, use glare, and that's pretty much it for that. And you can stop right now, but there's one thing I like to do, which is the vignette. So click let's see, click Shift A, alpha over, and so this will allow us to bring the vignette into the scene. So bring this RGB curve down image and bring that all down the black. And we don't see anything, but we just need two nodes. So type in box mask. Box max is basically how much the vignette and the size, how much smaller it will be. So let's bring this out. You can just see it being affected like that. So right now, we do have a black border, but one way we can make it look like it's a soft light is to go to, oh no, not boss, go to blur, click on, I like to click on gamma, play around, but we'll go and click, make these 400, and with this we can play around with how much closer we want the vignette to be. And we can see the vignette being a little bit closer, and bring it down closer to 1000. Okay, let's bring it a little higher. I think good, almost. And pretty much it for the lighting. As long as you get the composite, you have the vignette, you have the area light, HDRI, and that's all you really need. It can be really simple. Change the colors, and then you can go crazy and change this from green to like no green if you really want. That was basically it for the lighting part of this scene. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I look forward to showing you guys more tutorials. And have a good one. Be safe.